Hey guys, it's Bree here with brees.stitching.stuff, and welcome to my channel. I've had several questions over the last couple of weeks about how I quilt my quilts, so I just want to do a quick video on what I do. Today I'm working on the Crazy Daisy quilt pattern from Fat Quarter Shop that I got in one of my Sew Sampler boxes. And this is the really cute fabric line that it came with. This is my own fabric I bought, but this is what came with the pattern. It's really pretty and cute. So this is my setup, you guys. I have it to where I just have a domestic sewing machine set up onto a Gracie queen size wood frame. And I'll get closer to my machine so you can see which one I have. So it's right there, the Nouvelle 1500S. I have it on a 0 stitch length right there. And then I drop my feed dogs for when I do my quilting. And this is a bit of a longer throat than your normal domestic sewing machine, but it's still considered a domestic sewing machine. This machine does straight stitching only, and it is metal, so it's heavy duty, and I love her. I've had her machine for probably close to 6 or 7 years now, and I love her. She's been set up on my Gracie frame now for about 4 or 5 years. So how it works then, when you're using the machine on a frame, you get these awesome handles which kind of control your quilting. So this right here is basically your foot pedal. It plugs into the foot pedal spot in the back. You can see the wire right here. And so basically you can turn it on. This adjusts the speed so you can control how fast your needle is moving up and down. And then this is just a quick up-down motion if you're tying off your thread. So you have 2 handles here. It is set up to where if you want to work from the back, you can. There's handlebars back over here in the back. That is good if you use pantographs. I've never used them. I've always just done my own free motion quilting. So here is the base of the sewing machine right here. This is the table that's connected to the handlebars. So this is what's controlling your machine basically. These wheels help the machine go back and forth, and then this makes it go side to side, and it runs along this edge of the bed. So the whole bed is made of wood, minus the front of the bed, which is like aluminum, and the rollers are like an aluminum as well. This right here adjusts how high your top bar is above your machine. So you want just enough distance between here as you would on when you're sewing your regular sewing. You know, you don't want it too close, but you don't want it too far away either, because it'll give you a nice even stitch when it's just on the bed like normal. This bed also, if you look underneath here, there are 3 different support spots where you can change the height. So depending on how tall you are, you can change the bed to adjust to your height here. These right here are clips so you can get more tension into your quilt and hold it a little bit more taut, because sometimes it does bow a little. This just kind of helps hold it in place. I love working on this setup. It allows me to be able to have my, let me see if I can show you guys. This is my backing. It's connected to this plain muslin fabric here. I have my batting, and then I have my top. So every time I need to move further down on my quilting, you can see I have a line of quilting here. When I move down, I will roll the quilt, and I will show you now. So you unlock the rollers, and then there's a second roller which holds the other side of the quilt. And then here you just twist. You can see it moving. And then I just twist it until I get to a point about right there where I can still see the previous stitching. And then I lock it here. So this bar is locked now. And then I come down to this bottom one, and I pull it until it's nice and taut. And it locks into place, so you have a nice taut quilt. for when you're going ahead and stitching. The nice thing about being able to use the rollers and the table is you don't have to use any spray, like temporary spray adhesive. You don't have to baste your quilt at all because it holds everything together. So I float my quilt top and my batting. And what that means is my backing right here is completely tight and rolled up into this bottom bar here. So my back will always stay completely taut, wrinkle free, which is awesome. And then I just float my batting and my quilt top on top of that. So you can see how it just dangles on the bottom. And the reason why I go with that instead of rolling it into this third bar here is it helps me control and check to make sure, you know, little loose threads and stuff aren't in between. I can check the back. And then I noticed too, a lot of the batting, because I use pretty thin batting, when you roll it, it tends to kind of stretch and get wonky. So I just prefer the floating method myself. That's just how I've always done my quilts. And then another tension to hold this stuff a little bit more taut. So that is my setup, you guys. I'm going to do a row of quilting to show you guys how it works, and I will be on my way, but I just hope you guys really enjoyed seeing how I quilt. That's probably one of my favorite parts of quilting, is doing the quilting part. So we'll go ahead and I'll do a quick little bit of demo on how it looks from my point of view when I'm quilting, and I'll let you guys go. So here we go. It's a little loud, so get prepared. Here we go. And now I'm just meandering. That's all I'm doing on this quilt. Nothing fancy. This is just a quilt we'll throw in our living room. So the quilting, if you're not very familiar, quilting is basically this part of it. You're connecting the top, the batting, and the back together. Every batting has a different requirement of spacing. You know, they can be anywhere from 2 inches to 10 inches depending on what kind of batting you use. So just make sure you follow your manufacturer's directions when you do quilt. When you're meandering though, you're safe. There's no worries on that your batting will shift at all. And that's what the quilting those guidelines help you from shifting any of the batting in between the layers, so you don't get any of that weird. If you ever had like an older quilt or an older blanket and the batting kind of feels bunched kind of funny, that is why the quilting wasn't close enough, and the batting was able to shift a bit over the time of use. All my quilts I make are with 100% cotton fabric, and I usually do an 80-20 blend of poly and cotton batting. I just like the drape, and I like how it washes up. I machine wash and machine dry all of my quilts. I know some people will gasp at that, but I want my quilts to be used, and if you use quilts, they get dirty, so I want my quilts to be loved. So I do. I machine wash and machine dry. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy stitching. Bye. Bye guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay calm.